So I wanted to talk to you today about an arc that I was given and that I tried to read, but unfortunately I had to DNF. So I got the arc of the Romance Rivalry by Susan Lee at Y'all West from Epic Reads, and I was really looking forward to this. I had to wait in line for this one. You have to wait in line if you've ever been to Y'all West or Y'all Fest. You have to wait in line for almost every arc that you get. I actually had to rush over after a signing with an author for this one. Someone was kind enough to hold a spot in line for me. Really nice of them to do that. They knew that I really wanted this arc, and they kindly let me join them again in line because they knew that I really wanted this book. And so I was really looking forward to this one. It's described as kind of like an ode to romance readers. And it takes place in college, and there are not a lot of YA books that take place in college. And so I always look forward to YA books in college. And so if you don't know what this is about, it's basically a girl who is going to well, I'll just read you the back because the way that I thought it was going to be and the way that it's kind of done is not exactly what I was thinking it was going to be. So I'm just going to read you the back. Irene Park loves romance novels, so much so she's made a career of them as an online book reviewer with a massive following. But Irene's real-life dating story, non-existent. So when she starts her freshman year of college, she sets her sights on finding true love using the one thing she really understands: romance book tropes. Enter Aiden John, Irene's online book review rival and ultimate nemesis. When Aiden challenges her to see who can find love by trope first, he becomes the one person standing in the way of her getting everything she wants, both professionally and personally. As Irene tackles the challenges of college life and struggles to figure out what she really wants for herself, all while trying to fall in love, she realizes that her ultimate HEA, happily ever after, has been right there the entire time. It just takes finding the right trope to realize it. Now, I guess I kind of misunderstood the description because I don't know what I really expected, but when they say that she's going to find true love using romance book tropes, they mean that literally. So this girl is going to try and find love by using romance book tropes for herself. She's going to basically try and apply book tropes to herself, small town romance, fall in love with someone in a small town romance kind of thing, or find true love through enemies to lovers or friends to lovers, or and any of the classic romance book tropes. And I don't know about you, but I find that really cringy, and reading about it felt really cringy, because you can't really apply romance book tropes to real life. You just can't. I mean, yes, they happen in real life, but there's a reason that they are in romance books. They're just not a thing that really happens that often in real life. They're you don't. My favorite romance book trope is falling in love through it's an epistolary novel, falling in love through text, through email, through letters, that kind of thing. Now, would I love for that to happen to me? Absolutely. Do I think that's gonna happen to me? No. I don't. I'm not holding out hope that I'm gonna find someone online that I'm gonna start talking to, and then I'm gonna meet them randomly through work or whatever, and be oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I'd been talking to you this whole time online, wow. Or that I'm gonna be you're the person I hated this whole time online, that I hated this whole time in real life, and we've been talking online this whole time. Oh my gosh, I don't really hate you in real life. No, if I hate someone in real life, I'm not gonna suddenly be but you're the person I love online. No, if I hate someone in real life, chances are I'm also gonna be hating them online. That's not how this happens. So I'm sorry, but the idea of just finding someone through romance book tropes, it sounds so stupid. Like, it's really cringy. And so the entire concept of this book just sounds really, really dumb. And like, I loved the idea of this book because it has my favorite trope. It has the trope of like talking to someone online. And yes, they're like nemesis online, but like I have a feeling they're not gonna stay nemesis. But like, it just sounds really stupid to be like, yeah, I'm gonna try and find someone through like a romance book trope, and we're gonna make it like a rivalry of like finding someone through a romance book trope and see like who's gonna fall in love with someone through a romance book trope first. Like, that's just so stupid. And then my other issue with this book is that there are like a couple of things. So the writing style, first of all, feels like more of a middle grade novel than like a YA novel. Like, it is written very simplistically, and there's nothing wrong with simplistic writing, but like, it's just not really for me. Like, I'm just gonna open up to like a random page and like read you some of it. So I can hide from this awkward situation like I always do, behind my book. Oh my God, Irene, are you reading in a limo on prom night? I raised my eyes to see Jamie, dress hike up to her waist, still straddling her date, but now with a look of total disbelief on her face. Her lipstick is smeared and her hair is disheveled. I opened my mouth to answer her, but it's kind of obvious that yes, I am reading in a limo on prom night. And whereas this behavior seems utterly ridiculous to her, it's totally fine in my eyes. But that's always been the issue. Most people in my life don't get my passion for reading, and they definitely don't respect my right to do it wherever and whenever I want. I mean, that's just a little snippet that's literally like a random page that I opened to, but like, I'm sorry, that reads like it belongs in, to me, that reads like it belongs in a book written for like an eight-year-old. It doesn't read to me like it belongs in a book meant for like someone who's like 16 or 17. So that just irked me. But then also the entire concept of like using romance book tropes and like the whole just like everything, the tone and the concept of this reads to me like it belongs in an adult romance novel and not a young adult romance novel. Like, it just read to me like it belonged in something way more advanced than something meant for teenagers. It just did not feel to me like it was written for a young audience. So I just did not like this. As you can tell, I kind of ranted about this, and I didn't even make it that far. I got, I think, let's see how far I got. Where was I? Okay, hold on. Okay, I got like 36, 37 pages into this. That's not very far into a book to decide you're calling it quits. But I knew from that moment that I was not feeling this. So I'm sorry, Romance Rivalry, but just not for me. You might feel differently. You might have loved this book. I'm happy to discuss this with you, but just did not feel this one. So thank you, Epic Reads, for the ARC. If someone else would like to read this book, I'm happy to pass it along to you, but I just didn't like it.